Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gyle here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. Second game of the day. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Haha. Got to make up for this gap in programming somehow. It's going to be another game on Badlands, but this time it's going to be utilizing all of the starting slots. It's going to be a custom 4v4, and it's going to feature some of your favorite pros. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. Okay, so definitely familiar, having just had a cast on this very map. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top and this Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1 in Pontiff White, over out in the far west, the top left, it's BRS DC, and he's going Cybran, opening first land. To his right, it's my good friend Chosen in Regal Purple, sporting this season's ever so annoyingly fashionable Aeon, and he's opening first land, going second air. To his right over here, in lurid green, it's Lanelas. He's also going Aeon, opening first land. And last but not least for Team 1 over here in burgundy red, it's Chevalier. He's going Seraphim, opening first land. So that's Team 1. And for Team 2 down here at the bottom right, the quintessential Voodoo in his very standard mellow yellow, going Seraphim as he likes to do, or at least I think he's still going pretty much random. Going first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth land, seventh, eighth land. Can you build more spam, Voodoo? Apparently not. To his left, none other than Kosher in baby blue, going UEF, opening first and second land. Thirdly, for Team 2, we've got Sui in elephantine grey, going UEF, opening first land. And last but not least, in Ferrari red, also going UEF, so it's almost an all UEF affair for Team 2. It's Elias. He's opening first and second lands. The first few units come south for the winter from Team 1. We've got a Hunter, a Flare, and a Mole. They're going to go engineer hunting, and they're going to go straight after Elias and maybe Kershaw if the current trajectories for Chosen's lab continue. And DC's Hunter homing in on that engineer, working on the Hydra. Doesn't manage to kill it off, has to come back for the kill, but ultimately is successful. Elias forced to bring his comm into the fray. That will slow him up, of course, on the Hydro. And the Flare continuing to be irritating for Chosen. Picks off one engineer and then starts work on another for Kershaw, who gets in behind the construction project to the Hydro there, and then backs too far around, doesn't work too well, tries to reclaim the lab, but doesn't make it, and he was forced to cancel an enormous build queue on that one. How incredibly irritating. And Team 1 has also spotted another engineer further back in the mass field here for Kershaw, and once again Chosen homes in on it like a dog sniffing out his dinner. There it goes. So nice early work from Team 1. More units heading south as we speak, as well as Chevalier's comm. Also got Lanelas sitting pretty in the middle. Voodoo looks like he's moving to the middle with his ACU. I don't know if he'll change though once he spies some issues from Chevalier. Getting in that central crater, going straight for the big rocks in the middle, and the potential of a cheeky run by here at the same time. Couple of units from DC getting in around the back. Once again, all the pressure at the moment seems to be coming from Team 1, very much and very comprehensively so, the more aggressive team. The first 3 or 4 minutes of this one. There are no ACUs from Team 2 above this one on the map. You compare that to Chevalier in the center on the right here. That seems to be Chosen and Lanelas entering the central canyon as we speak. Voodoo finally making his way in as well. But a more even spread. All ACUs from Team 2 heading for the middle, whereas we've got a much more even spread from Team 1. I definitely prefer their situation at the moment. That single Mantis alive, 5 kills on the clock, just 47 or 48 hit points regenning. And comes a Mech Marine, and does manage to sacrifice himself to get the kill and save that mass pump. It's going to survive with 120 hit points left. That's what you call in the nick of frickin' time. Chevalier continues his progression south. There are several units of build capacity to his right that he could happily pick up if he could spot them. Just about getting the intel from those Selens in that bunch. This could be major issues, but look at the amount of aggression now coming up the middle from Team 2, pulling all of their ACU power straight down the center. They can cause enough damage against Lenalas and Chosen. It might be well worth it. Chosen working on some PD, Lenalas doing the same. Eruptors in place. Voodoo surely going to be forced to back up now. Not going to be able to contend with point defense as well. Already dropping down below 7,000. Lenalas still well in the green. And Chevalier making a mess of Voodoo's base as we speak. Voodoo forced to redirect the spam that was heading towards the middle to intercept Chevalier's troops. He's going to struggle though dealing with that commander. Voodoo into the red, 2,400 hit points falling. That Eruptor from Lenalas finally dealt with. The difference between the pros and the rest of us, well, there are many, but that's one. Knowing when to back out, this would have been me killed had I been that aggressive. Chosen struggling to complete that Eruptor. Makes such a difference to the power on the ground for Team 1 if they could get it online. Chevalier issuing a command to his comm to back up. Still got enough units on the ground to make a nuisance of himself at the front of Voodoo's base. It's absolutely critical for Team 2 that they get something done on the ground on this push. I think they've lost far too much at the edges. One Eruptor online. Lenalas not pausing to put wall sections around his PD. Connecting instead to spam more PD. Finally, there goes the wall sections, but an overcharge knocks out all of the units of build capacity at the back there. Nice work. I think that was Elias or Sui, one of the two. I think at -2 because there is so much going on in this one. Voodoo on an upgrade, probably going for the engineering suite to get some HP back on his comm. But Lenalas driven back into the center of his base. More Eruptors on the way. Chevalier finally getting into the mix with some of his T1. That has at least relieved the pressure on Voodoo's base. The DC now in the center, making life difficult for reinforcing units. So he needs to be careful here. He's down to around 6,400 hit points. That's begging for another overcharge into that build capacity at the back there. Lenalas down to 5,000 hit points. Want to pursue a little bit, but can't get greedy. Chosen still building wall sections there for a PD that no longer exists. He's into the yellow, 7,700 hit points on the clock. Kocha down to 6,000. Elias looking pretty healthy. Sui gets a rank up of veterancy, gets him out of the red there. But needs to be a little bit better with his dodging. He's eating far too much Zui fire, which is taking too many hit points off him too quickly. But Chevalier bearing down on Sui now, who's well into the red, 3,100, sorry, left on that comm. Chevalier sensing blood, has units of his own in the area. Sui trying to take the pressure off himself slightly by bringing in his own strikers and surrounding Chevalier. If you get a few lucky bumps here, he might be able to put some distance between him and Chevalier's comm. The problem is he's getting deeper into enemy territory all the time. Down to 1,000 hit points. I guess if you get in the center here, he can make his death count for something, but Chevalier could potentially go pop at the same time. He's down to 5,000 hit points. He's been forced to back off Sui's comm a little bit just to put some work in against all of this land spam that's bearing down on him. Voodoo and Kershaw getting involved as well, sensing Chevalier could be on the brink of going up. Sui down to just 200 hit points, needs to dodge better but doesn't manage it, and not only that, his comm explosion doesn't kill off Chevalier but does wipe out a whole bunch of friendly units that were working on him. Absolutely dreadful turn of events there for Team 2. Chevalier still being pressured, 1500 hit points left on the clock. Elias bearing down on him as well. He might still get the kill out of this one. 1000 hit points left, just under, but not many units to continue the pursuit. Elias slowly cornering him, however. Kershaw in the meantime well down into the red, 2500 hit points left on the clock. Chosen looking like he was forced to cancel an upgrade there. Is he going to pursue? It's going to be awfully close. Chevalier still on 1000 hit points. Going to have to go to dual box, but just as I do it, Kershaw bites the dust and Chosen survives on 300 hit points. No, he doesn't. Something grabs the kill. There's too much light on the field to be able to see what it was. Probably a delayed artillery shell. So Kershaw and Chosen both ejected from the game. Sui out as well. Just 9 minutes gone on this one. Elias continuing to try and corner Chevalier. However, Chevalier managing to put a lot of distance between himself and Elias. Elias does get a rank of veterancy there. Takes him up into the 10,000 hit point range and out of danger. 1400 hit points left on Chevalier and climbing, but looky what we've got here. Lanelas building mercies and Elias miles away from any kind of friendly unit. Is he going to back out? I think he has to. That is unbelievable. Chevalier going to escape, I think, by the skin of his teeth. And there go the mercies, dropping Elias down to 6,500 hit points or so. Lanelas reducing them as quickly as he can. Elias down into the reds, more on the way. The odd interceptor out for Voodoo, but I don't think it's going to be enough. One more impact takes him down to 400 hit points. Are there any more on the way? Voodoo screening as best he can with his own interceptors. Another guided missile out, but immediately gets shot down. Elias heading for home as best he can. Lanelas in pursuit with his own ACU. Elias deciding not going to be able to risk it. He is going to face a whole horde of T1. However, Lanelas down to 3,600 hit points. Voodoo coming in with T1 as well. And Elias needs to bring in his forces. There is definitely a chance of a kill here. Back into the reds. It's going to be very close. Lanelas putting in the overcharge and when he can, but Voodoo, oh my god, bring your tanks in. Chevalier coming in to ease the pressure, and I think he's going to get away. Unreal. Team 1 holding on to their ACUs just barely. Voodoo trying to get a bit of a run-by going on, or getting in, trying to get into the core of Lanelas' base, but I don't think he's going to manage it. A bit of a point defense creep going on at the same time. Chevalier well recovered after that little bit of respite he's had in the earlier engagements. Lanelas has scored a rank here or there, holding on to their comms by the skin of their teeth. Very nearly turned this game around for Team 2. Voodoo now has to cause some kind of critical damage with this creep, or surely it's going to be game over. Not going to be able to hold these flanks. And wisely, Chevalier electing to attack down the eastern canyon. Voodoo working on attack missile launcher. Haven't even taken a look at what's going on the eco side of things. DC well out in front, 90 mass per tick. Lanelas in second, Elias in third. Voodoo and Chevalier bringing up the rear. There is an exposed flank for DC to the right. I want to throw more Cerberus turrets down here, I think. Needs to protect this section above all else. Certainly wants to protect his T3 at the back here. He'll be able to do it. He brings back a whole bunch of his T2 on the ground as well to help finish off some of these units. .5 minutes gone in this one. Elias returning to base. Be at Voodoo's base. Definitely that comm looking like it might be needed as Chevalier continues to press. Breaking now into Voodoo's main base. Mex is under pressure. It's quite a lot of units that are going to survive. Run by continues. There is now no feasible way to stop it. We have got the odd bomber coming out from air factories over here from Elias. Definitely would prefer to have a T2 gunship in that mix, but alas, there's no tech on the field for Team 2. There's just not been an opportunity. It's been a T1 slag fest. Voodoo assisting his attack missile launchers wanting the clip for both of these. Could he be hoping to get a comm standing still or something? If he's going to get the chance. Even Song's firing at range, going to destroy all of his hard work. And now there is trebuchet fire coming in from the left as well from DC. This position now becoming untenable. Voodoo's going to be forced to back up. And with the eco being outstripped as it is, I see no way now for Team 2 to come back. Very surprised. Voodoo gives everything over to Elias as he goes pop. GG's called out. A very short 4v4 indeed, this one, but pretty intense. T3 now rolling out in numbers for DC. Start pushing its way down the center and really down the eastern canyon as well. Elias not waiting around, is going to push in with his comm. I like your style. Kaflooey, 19 minutes, so pretty darn short for a 4v4, but definitely jammed packed with action. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. As always, more to come from me in the future. In the meantime, stay well and stay safe. This is Gyle signing out.